No, what?
Phone's dying.
Yeah, that's it. We're live.
Okay, so I didn't send a message and we didn't have music.
Why?
Alex just went live!
What happened?
What happened? What happened? Now we have music. I love it. Yes! Yes!
That was quick.
We have so much music going on now. I don't even know how much music we have.
We don't know.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, we have technical difficulties.
We're having a good time.
Who knows what the heck is going on? We're live. It's happening.
We're already live.
Yes. So, Ashley, if you can, figure it out.
Oh, yeah. That was a few
Go into manychat.com and send out a broadcast to everybody right now letting them know we're live because I forgot to schedule it because of the topic. So, I don't know if you can figure that out or not. It's kind of frustrating because that lets everybody know that the show is live. And we're live now. And if you're tuning in, welcome to the Whine No Whine Show. We are professionals. Don't try this at home.
That purple matches so good it looks like a smoking jacket.
Thank you.
Purple
Thank you.
paisley.
With an
Very
ascot.
nice. Very
As my wife said this morning, you're looking quite purply.
For the Whine No
Yes!
Whine Show.
For the Whine No Whine Show. I thought it was apropos. So, anyway, welcome to the only show where you can be friended and offended all in the same darn hour.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
2018, I really like that.
We have a fan. Look at that. You know, America, we have a problem. And I know you all know this. I call it the zero to Nazi effect. You've done it, I'm sure. You've been a part of it. You've been in a conversation on social media, in person, whatever, and you disagree, and the person goes from zero to you're a Nazi. Right? It doesn't take very long. I don't agree with you. You're obviously a Nazi. I will now punch you in the face and go outside and set fire to your car.
Sometimes they're creative and you're like Stalin.
Yes. Yes. Optional Stalin. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff Flake
Creative
pulled that
Stalin.
move.
Yeah. I almost want to take a moment and say, "Oh, thank you. That's new. That's
That was
different."
kind of a cool
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And it's crazy madness. It's all just because we don't know how to disagree civilly, right? So, welcome to the solution. It's the Whine No Whine Show, where we get together and we drink. We dink.
He already been thinking.
We actually think before
We already been
Sydney
dinking.
said it right. You've been thinking.
Some have been dinking more than others.
Pre-show thinking. Pre-show thinking.
Pre-show dinking. We get together and we drink wine.
With some wine.
Yeah.
And we talk about everything that everybody says you're not supposed to talk about. And we do this all over a great glass of wine, having a good time, and enjoying each other's company. And you know what? You can disagree. It's perfectly okay. No one's going to die. I promise. Right?
Girl, you.
No one's going to grow a disagree tumor and die.
Right.
It's
No.
all right.
We
All
good.
right?
No,
So,
go ahead, do your thing.
we're going to talk about some really fun stuff today. We're going to dig into some serious about look at y'all. You're trying to distract me over
Out
here.
of control.
Hashtag distraction.
Out of control. Out of control.
We're going to be talking about some fun stuff today. We got a couple interesting things. I'm going to do a first on the show today. We're going to kind of have an in the news moment with this something. Yes, that's
Drum roll.
front row hashtag thing that's
What
been
about your 100
trending.
views? What about your 100
Oh, we're
views?
definitely going to mention that.
Okay.
Thank you. That's good.
Before we
Yeah.
get all into it.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. Special day. A special day. I will go ahead and mention it.
Wait. Can you wait till you pour the wine?
Yes!
Yeah!
That's good.
I like the way you
That's
That's
Good
good.
idea,
That's
Sydney.
good.
Sydney.
Cliffhanger. Big announcement.
Big.
Big announcement. We're
I
going to
don't
be
even know what it is yet.
we're going to be celebrating something. We're all going to drink to. It's a major milestone in
They're
the
doubling
show.
our
I
pay
do know.
package.
I think
Yeah,
I do know.
Yes, doubling the pay package. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. So anyway, a big moment in the show's history. Stay tuned for that. And actually, I don't know if the camera
Author.
thing, the show thing, is plugged in or not because we can't. There's nothing
Can't
on the
see anyone's
screen.
comments.
The screen behind us. Yeah. Wow. Power.
There we go.
Power is
play.
always good. Again, I want to remind you, we are professionals.
power
Don't
to
try this at home.
Yeah, you just card it off.
A lot of firsts on this show
Yeah,
tonight.
Yes.
this is
A lot of
this
This
is,
is a special
Big moment.
is it plugged into the computer?
Yeah.
Big
Make sure it's
Special
all the way in.
show. We're special ed tonight. It's
This
all
is-
good.
Yeah, this is
all good.
this has already been a crazy.
Bam.
Ah, look at that! Look at that!
Wow.
Crazy,
Right, got
cool,
screenage.
amazing. Okay, so Ashley, you can go to broadcasting. Cancel out of all that. See, I get to help my daughter now behind the scenes.
You're
So we have
producing and hosting
that's
at
right.
the same time.
we have one that's already up there that says, "Hey, the Wine No Wine Show." Click on that. Yep.
Hey.
And it says, delete that first line there. Change it to what we're going to be talking about.
Hey.
There we go. Which is a great time to tell you guys what we're talking about. We're talking about Google Home. We're talking about Siri. We're talking about Cortana. We're talking about Alexa, who's probably going to respond now.
She just lit up. That's
Yes.
that's why. No,
Hi,
I'm
Alexa.
out.
Yes.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right.
I have an
Show's
Alexa
done.
Just
in
kidding,
the room.
Alexa. Go back to sleep.
Alexa
And
off.
she's already listening. We have her in the room. We're talking about all these smart devices that we have in our homes that we carry around with us. And is it an invasion of privacy? Is it a welcome invasion of our privacy? Is Big Brother listening, and are you okay with it? So share your thoughts on that. Yes. Dun, dun, dun. That's what we're talking about on today's show. You guys chime in with your thoughts. Let us know what you think on that. And right now, I'm also being distracted because I'm trying to help my daughter send out the broadcast message to everybody because it didn't go out because I forgot to schedule it.
Oops.
So that one's on me. Yep. And
Dun, dun.
we're also gonna.
Oops,
we're
oops.
also. This is gonna be a drive-by. Just let's get a quick comment on it, see what we think on it, because in the last couple of hours, it's really been blowing up on social media. It's the #1 trending phrase right now, and that's hashtag release the memo. Hashtag release the memo. What the heck is that all about? Well, there's a possible document out there. It's been seen. We have witnesses, all this sort of thing now. They've been tweeting in the last hour. This is just in the last hour that there's a memo. And I'll be kind of introducing it to the guests, as we talk here. There's a memo linking Hillary Clinton, specifically working with the FBI to produce the Russian dossier. That was meant to take down then presidential candidate Donald Trump. We've heard a lot about this dossier. That's been out there in the news and everything. What we didn't have was that we actually had an American Security Administration, an organization that was, its intent was to protect American citizens, using their power and authority to investigate and snoop on a presidential candidate with the intent of producing, a document to negatively impact that candidate. Forget the Republican, Democrat, all that aspect of it. It really doesn't matter. How do you guys feel about that being the case? If this memo is out there, and I've got some tweets that I'm going to share. Hopefully my daughter didn't close out that screen. I still have the Word doc out there because I don't have the quotes memorized. Yay, it's still there. And she'll make it big enough on the screen eventually for me to see, and I can share it because I'm blind. We're going to get you guys' thoughts on this. I'm not going to jump into this just yet, Ash. That's perfect, by the way. Thank you. Big enough to read for my blind eyes. Okay, so I'm going to help her finish this broadcast real quick. Bear with me, guys. All right, you got the subject in there. Now go up to the top right. Click. Oh, wait. Do we have a link to the show? See where it says watch episode? Oh, yeah. That's good. Don't worry about it. That's good. Click on go next. Yep. Click on start sending now and hit top right, schedule message.
Top right.
You're good, top right. Schedule message. There you go. Beautiful. And go to broadcast. Bam. It's gone. All right. Yes, it will go out in the next couple of minutes. Thank you for getting that done. All right. Thanks for everybody bearing with me on that. Chiming in with your thoughts. I'm going to start pouring wine. This has already been a crazy long introduction, and this went
We won't introduce
way
ourselves.
longer.
You
Yes,
know
I
us.
want wine. I want wine.
You know us.
So I'm going to turn it over to the guests now and give your introductions. Tell us who you are.
Yes, we are.
Give the shameless plug and whatever you want to promote. Minute or less kind of idea, and then we're going to bounce back and we're going to give your thoughts on the hashtag release the memo. How do you feel about government agency working with a private citizen to attack another private citizen, under the political system? Anyway, I need a drink on that one. So I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna pour some wine. Oh, real quick. This is gonna be super quick. Today we're drinking. If you can zoom in, Alex with Altered State Productions behind the scenes, working the cameras. If you guys need a great production company, Altered State Productions, look them up. Phenomenal. They do a great job. Appreciate all their volunteering and working with us on the show. This is the wine, Calice de Luz. It's a Spanish Arain wine, and that is Spanish for chalice of light. It's a very light, fruity wine, and I'm super looking forward to it again. I've had it a long time ago. I saved a bottle just for a special occasion because we have a special occasion today. So after the guests introduce themselves, we're going to clink, and I'm going to tell you guys what the special occasion is, and we're going to do a little cheers, and then we're going to dig in. So there you go.
Thank you, our fine host.
You're welcome. And there you go.
Thank you.
So go ahead. Go ahead, Cindy. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. You know what? Everybody probably already knows me. I'm Cindy G of the Cindy G Project. I help people design the life they desire to live and live in the body they love to love. I focus on fitness, nutrition, holistic nutrition, and anti-aging. So we've got some projects that are already kicked off for 2018. So if you know that you are ready, you fell off already, or you are ready to get started on your new transformative lifestyle, just go ahead and inbox me now. We can get a game plan strategy for you. And I happen to love wine as well.
How can you not love wine, right?
How can you not?
Bravissimo. I'm Toni Rodriguez. I'm with Century 21 Realty in the Woodlands. I also am a choreographer, dance instructor in the Woodlands for the last 35 years. I do competitive dance. My little shameless plug is I'm starting new stretch flexibility for life videos that'll be coming out very soon, so stay posted. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Toni_Rodriguez1. And I just love wine. I love the whole concept of discussing topics that you shouldn't be discussing or that you should be, but in a civil way. So that's why I'm here, and I love Joe. He's a good guy.
Aww.
I want the stretching class.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll talk.
Sydney.
I'm Sydney. I guess today I'm going to shout out, if any of y'all watched the Wine No Wine Show Artist Edition, I'm going to shout out Texas Music and Art, who hosts the show. Yeah, so just give them a, check it out. There's like a whole long spiel that goes with that, so just check out Texas Music and Art, the Wine No Wine Show Artist Edition, and get connected.
There you go.
Stay connected.
Scott.
Scott Apley. Been here a few times now. I'm excited. I love the show. Love most of the people on the show. So that's it. Right? I mean, you can't like everybody. I mean, I like all you guys on the show.
Okay, that's all
Scott,
I
I'm
care
talking
about.
about, you know,
That's what's
like me.
important.
You know, but anyway, shameless plug. I'm going to continue with my trend of shamelessly plugging my friend Mandy Yates, who is starting a little business called the Stoned Butterfly. Last time I had a link on there. I don't have that this time. I apologize. But if you search it in the search box for Facebook, you'll find it. She has great little garden stones that she can do decorations on and stuff like that. And so I'm going to look at this flexibility thing because I just want to get to a point where I don't, like, when I bend this way, I don't, like, snap. Like,
No, you
right,
won't snap.
That's it.
Let's
I'm in.
talk. We're talking.
I'm in.
There we go. All right. We are about to jump into the topic and get folks' thoughts on that. I'm going to do the toast, and then we're going to get our guests' thoughts on the whole hashtag release the memo. Hashtag release the memo. And then we're going to be talking about Alexa, Google, Siri, all those folks in our home. Every time I say the name, we need to leave her on. We're going to play a game with it. We're going to play a game. I'm just going to refer to her. All right, we're going to play a game with her in a minute. We're going to play 20 questions. I want one of you
my
guys.
wife didn't hear that.
Right? We're going to play a game
I
with
think
her.
she's watching.
We're going to play a game with the electronic device that's sitting in the room.
Starts with an A.
I don't know if they got better.
Right, I don't know.
She's not a human being, Mama, then.
Yeah.
All right, so today is a
She's not
special.
sexy at all.
Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy.
Today is a special day. The show started back in April 11th. We launched. April 6th was the genesis of the idea for the show, 8 months ago-ish. And today, we crossed 100,000 views of the show. Clear, clear, clear. Yes.
100,000 views.
100,000 views. Over 125,000 minutes of viewing on the show. I did the math on that, and it was something like 85 straight days of viewing.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, only Joe does.
We're averaging about 325 hours a month of view time on the show.
That's awesome.
So,
Very cool.
Congratulations.
Really, really cool.
A lot of eyes on the show.
a lot of eyes on the show.
So what does that mean, Joe, exactly for us? For those that have no idea, oh, what? Who cares? Like, what? It means a lot.
It does. It means a lot. You know what? You guys that are tuning in, y'all are part of. I believe that a lot of people, when they see the show and a guest come on the show, everybody kind of has the same reaction. It's like, this is needed. We need this. We've all been told that we can't talk about religion. We can't talk about politics. We can't talk. Go down the line, right? All these things, like, oh, everybody's too sensitive, right? I'm like, those are all the important things. Those are things we should talk about. How about this? How about we just get better at not killing each other when we talk about serious stuff? Right? Novel idea.
There's a start.
Chill out a start. Chill out a bit. Exactly.
Yeah,
you know.
start.
I mean, because it's a beautiful thing. What happens when you get people that disagree in the room, but they're respectful towards each other. They actually just like, you know, I disagree with you, but help me understand why you're coming from where you're coming from.
Right.
An amazing thing happens. I've seen it still to this day. Episode 9 of the artist edition of the show, we had two folks that probably couldn't be more opposite ends of the spectrum. One was practically waving the Trump banner when he came in, and the other was married to a transgender woman, right? Politically, philosophically, everything else, opposite ends of the spectrum. By the end of the show, they were like, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. I get your point on that. It was like back and forth, mutually. It was amazing. It was amazing. The Trump guy was like, you're as close as I've ever come to knowing somebody that was transgender. So it's just that unknown, right? Perspective. And just getting to ask questions and like, well, why is that important to you? Why do you believe that? Et cetera. It was honestly like one of the most beautiful, cool things that I've ever seen.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's like, at the end of the day, you still don't have to agree with the person.
Sure.
But just appreciating their perspective and where they're coming from. We end up with, I believe, a view that's so much stronger at the end of the day than where we started. That's the mission of the show. And that's what 100,000 views is about. That's what, 125,000 minutes of view time and all that stuff is about. America needs this. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, because this show's a heck of a lot bigger than me. I've got a lot of people helping behind the scenes, and that, in fact, 3/4 of this show today are people who jumped in the last minute to fill a spot because other people had to cancel. They believe in it, and they're part of it, and they do what they can to help, and it's freaking amazing to me. He was scheduled.
No.
You were.
I've
That's right. You filled in.
Wait, we're all filled in.
All four.
We're all fillers.
All four filled in today. That's
Three
freaking
fillers
We
here.
are the
Yes.
best damn
Clink to
fillers.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Great people.
Sorry.
So
darn.
yeah, the show is taking off, and I appreciate you guys being a part of it and sharing it from my heart. I can't tell you how much it means to me. I genuinely believe the biggest problem facing America today is this. With all my heart, I'm not just saying that, because behind race relations, behind racial issues in America, is the inability to talk to each other. Right? You've got guys kneeling on a field, and you've got other people telling them to leave the country. Right? Whether you agree or not, try to understand where they're coming from without telling them to leave the darn country. You know what I mean? It's like, is that really all we have? That's the zero to Nazi effect. Well, I don't agree with you, so leave the country. That's my take. That's where I'm at. Right? Let's talk. I mean, because amazing stuff happens when we communicate. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling.
Give
Okay.
people a level of respect that they deserve just for being people.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Absolutely.
not a difficult thing.
Absolutely. So Ed said, I'm simultaneously watching on my PC and my phone. They're not in sync. Mind-blowing. I know what Joe is going to say next.
Hey, Ed.
Yes. Darn stinking cancellations. Yeah. Rosie works in the office, so she gets to experience my frustration firsthand. Poor girl. When I get a last minute cancel. It happens, you know. So anyway, I'm super thankful for my guests timing in. So anyway, 100,000 views today. We're celebrating.
I see that. Don't even talk about
Are we talking bacon?
Oh, yeah, the blonde chick.
That's from Harley.
Straight up fine.
Yes. Yeah, that's from Harley. Yeah. Straight up fine. Yeah.
Steve Williams. Is he messing with the thread again?
Right. So, all right. Hashtag release the memo. Let's chime in. Let's just get a quick thought on that. If the memo's legit, as people are oh, well, you know what? Give me the. I'll read the tweets.
That's a big
real quick.
So let's hear it.
Yes. So, North Carolina House Representative Mark Meadows tweeted at 6:18. He said, "I viewed the classified report from House Intel relating to the FBI FISA abuses. That's Foreign Investigations
Intelligence
Surveillance Act. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It's the law that was signed into place not too long ago that gave our federal agencies the ability to, in essence, spy on foreign individuals that were suspected of terrorism. So that authority was used to investigate an American citizen. So, to his quote, "I viewed the classified report from House Intel relating to the FBI FISA abuses, the infamous Russian dossier, and so-called Russian collusion. What I saw is absolutely shocking." Now it gets a little more serious. Iowa House Representative Stephen King tweeted, this is, again, just not long, within the last hour and a half, Steve King, not Stephen King, the author, Iowa House Rep Steve King, as my daughter corrected me on the screen here. "I have read the memo. The sickening reality has set in. I no longer hold out hopes there is an innocent explanation for the information the public has seen. I have long said it is worse than Watergate. It was." I mean, we have House of Representatives members making these kind of public statements that they've seen this document, and the second guy here saying it's worse than Watergate.
It's horrific and sickening.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, again, I don't care about the political side of it. I'm not asking what's your stance on Hillary or what's your stance on Trump. I don't care less about that in relation to this topic. The topic is, how do you feel about a government security agency working with one private citizen in a national setting to attack another private citizen by using foreign entities to try to gather intel? An actual, like, a federal security agency that's its purpose is to protect American citizens. What's y'all's thoughts on that? Let's all just chime in. You guys chime in.
Honestly, I'm not shocked at all. I mean, considering the political climate the last, I don't know, year or two, I mean, are we shocked at any level? I mean, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot. We've heard a lot. My first initial reaction is I'm not really shocked. I'm kind of just, it's very surreal because you hear about it. I would like to see more. I don't know. But
yeah, this is very fresh for everybody.
I'm not. The word shocking is not appropriate right now. It's not shocking to me that we're finding out things. I mean, I was an intern here in high school and college at City Hall. I've seen what things have, the things that happen at a very, very ground level. I can only imagine where we're at a national level. Like, it's not shocking. It's not. It's unfortunate, but I feel very surreal right now about the whole situation.
Okay. All right.
That's just my take.
Don't bounce back that way.
Sorry.
The media, Joe, the media sensationalizes everything
Very
that
true.
it possibly can in every
Drama
area.
sells.
Drama sells. The worst news is always the best news. We, in the words of one of my newest mentors, Justin Prince, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Why are we surprised? We shouldn't. I'm with Toni on that. Like, we're talking about human beings. We're talking about the opportunity to spill any type of drama. Look, who is it? What's the play? who's going to benefit from the memo? What's their agenda? Who's
Oh,
agenda?
sure.
Yeah. So I always want to look at the agenda of whoever is speaking and putting out the information. What's your agenda?
Sydney?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not shocked, but it is sad. I think that because I'm the type of person that's like I want to think that people are good people, but in reality, like people
They're
do have
not.
second agenda. Yeah, people
They
do
are
always
good.
have a
I mean,
second
because
agenda, and
people are good.
it's sad when sometimes every once in a while someone shows that like nothing is really fair, nothing is really whatever, and so it's just not shocked, but it's just another thing on top of all this negativity and all the other stuff that is going on. Like, yeah, it's sad because it never ends. You know?
It never ends.
Yeah, it's like an endless.
There's
Uh-oh.
always something.
Hashtag
man,
never
like,
ends.
Hashtag never ends.
Yes.
Exactly.
Scott.
Scott.
Let's go,
So
Scott.
I'll just, first of all, 42 years old, and my level of cynicism is at about an age 83. I mean, I just given up. I have
Yeah.
very little tolerance for all of this nonsense. Joe has said twice that it doesn't matter Republican or Trump or Hillary or whatever, and I wish that were true. Unfortunately, it is not true because first of all, nothing is going to come of this. That's my cynicism.
Exactly.
Nothing is going to come of this.
I agree.
It's going to be a big nothing burger.
Yep.
And then what's going to happen is
And everybody has to eat it.
That's lighter than a vegan burger.
It's going to be
double meat,
horrible.
double
It's
cheese,
gonna be
nothing
horrible.
burger.
It's going to be horrible.
It's going to inundate the
And
media.
Republicans are going to defend that it should be
Dry
bad,
and not even
and
bacon on it.
Democrats are going to explain why it's not,
Yep.
and nothing's going to come of it.
Exactly.
And the fact is, a lot of that is our fault because we have completely eliminated the need for our political leaders to have a moral standard.
Yep.
And because I mean,
Amen.
I have made the
We don't
argument
we
many
can't control
times
that.
that neither Hillary nor Donald Trump were fit human beings to run for president of the United States, and they both gained their party's nomination.
Who is a fit human being? Who is a fit human being to
That's
run a
all.
country? Like, seriously.
Not those two.
Well, you know what?
No. Who is fit to
That's
run
a
the
great
country?
question. That's a great question.
Wow.
I would say that there was a time in our nation when the leaders
Someone
who went
was
to office
30-something.
knew that they were beneath the office.
Mm.
I would say that, I'll
held
give you an
it,
That's well
held it
said.
in high regard. Held
I'll
it.
give you an example. George Washington, they wanted him to be king, right? And he declined. He's like,
Don't ask me to be king.
yeah, he's like, now think
King
about that,
Scott.
the power of that. He could have just become a king
Would
of a
Jesus
nation.
Christ be
Almost
fit
just
to run
crap.
to be
Be good.
president?
I would say yes, but there'd be plenty of people who said no. So,
Yeah, I'm just not shocked.
Would he be voted into office? Yes
No.
or no?
No,
Jesus Christ.
not
Chime in,
Not in
folks. Chime
today's
in.
not in today's
Would
political
Jesus
world.
Christ-
Imagine the tech
I
ads on
vote for
it.
him.
No. Yeah.
You know,
Okay, what
They'd
about
get a
Oprah?
dossier on
Oprah
it.
weighs
Yeah.
100 pounds more than Trump.
Oh, that's
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
We'll
Ed.
get to
That's
that.
Ed. That's Ed being
Ed,
Ed being a
seriously.
goofball. That's him.
Oh, that's my
Uh,
mom.
That's an Edism right there. But here's Terry Bryan Bending made a comment. He said, "Can't stand Killary, but lies are abundant on both sides. Not a feeling, just
It
truth."
is the truth.
Right?
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
about people.
The
And
truth is the
Terry is with a party called the Constitution Party,
sounds
which
like I need to talk to Terry.
which I'm a big fan of, and I have not been abundantly overt about it, but I'm not shy about it. I've frequently said I didn't vote for Trump and I did not vote for Hillary because I felt that they were two sides of the same coin. They're part of a duopoly where they put their spin on it, but at the end of the day, they're the same party. They
I got to Google
one-
duopoly.
huh?
I got to Google duopoly.
It's basically
I'm Marsha.
two different sides of one coin. They're all in the same boat, pushing for the same things. They all talk about, we're going to reduce taxes, we're going to become energy independent, blah, blah, blah. They said the same thing for the last 40 years. The tax code is no simpler. Taxes keep going up. We are no more energy independent. Take your pick. On down the line.
That extends to the two major parties. They're different sides of the same.
Exactly. That's the duopoly. That's
So
what it is.
basically-
So I didn't vote for either one. I voted for the Constitution Party, and every plank or every position of their party, they
Go
will
Jesus.
they actually will quote the Constitution They quote the Constitution, and then they say, here's our party position, here's our plank. Every position they hold in the party is based on the Constitution. I'm a big fan of that idea because I don't trust government. It needs to be super small. Anyway, that's my take. This dossier, for me, I think it just says what we already knew. I think we already knew. They call it deep state and all this other kind of stuff. I think Hillary's got so much dirt on so many politicians because this is just a standard practice, is to dig up all the dirt that they can. Yeah, and when you don't play their way, they're like, oh, well, you don't want this released, right?
We got
Are the Clintons killers? I'm just kidding.
Ooh, Lord, that's a whole
That's
nother.
that's so deep.
Oh,
But
wow.
chime in.
But you know why
there's
nothing will come of
murders.
it?
Nothing will come
Just
of it.
kidding.
Because they
Again,
can't go
chime
after
in.
Hillary because they've
She
got
has
their
so much
own
dirt. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to 100% agree with Scott. We are going to get it inundated. We're going to see this all day long. You're going to wake up and see it. You're going to go to sleep and see it. You're going to hear it until nothing happens, until it dissipates to nothing.
The empty
Zero.
burger. Like, we gotta get a
Something
hashtag
else.
empty burger. Let me hashtag
Until
that.
something else
Empty
comes
burger, I
up.
love that.
So,
It's a
so
double
open a
meat.
bottle of wine because it's going to be a while.
That's right. Double meat, double cheese.
We're gonna need more wine.
Big old fat nothing burger.
Nothing.
Big old fat
Nothing burger.
Right, that's right.
Eat it.
No
be done with it.
bacon. No,
No.
nothing. It's
No
just
bacon.
An
dry.
empty
That's
burger.
not a burger.
Nothing
It's
burger.
dry.
Just some bread.
Yeah.
No meat, no lettuce, no cheese.
Sounds like
So,
my childhood.
It's gonna be like a ham, no burger.
That's right. So anyway, that was our fun little drive-by.
I love
It's in the
Friday
media.
references.
It's in the media right now. You guys
it.
look it up.
Empty
Oops.
burger. That's awesome.
And before we kill this bottle
Yes.
and move on to our box wine,
Which is very quality
Wait,
box
now?
wine.
Come on
which
now.
is very quality box
Share the
wine.
love,
I'm
share
getting
the
this all
love.
evened out here.
Share the love.
All right.
I'm not drinking fast enough.
Hi, Marsha.
I usually drink fast.
I-
I'm usually
I-
done by now.
One of the realizations I had, it only took me 40 shows ish to figure out, is that we killed a bottle of wine in about 10 minutes.
Hey, it's like got the whole
That's how
show
we
to go.
roll.
Yeah,
That's how we do.
and then we get to the end of the show after drinking like 3 bottles of box wine, and I asked the guests to then rate the bottle of wine that they had an hour ago, and we kind of been like,
It was
See?
great.
So-
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was
Yeah.
I'd rate it if I
Pretty
could
sure.
remember it.
So at the end of this show, we rate the wine, but I want to pause right now as we're drinking the wine and thinking about it. Take a sip and kind of get a rating in your head,
Okay.
so that we're ready at the end of the show with that.
Got it.
At 6:01, because if not, Ashley gets
Yeah.
angry.
That's right. Calice de Luz, Chalice of Light, Spanish Arain. That's what we're drinking today. Yummy, yummy. Oh, look at this. We have a Russian person tuning in. We were talking about hashtag release the memo, and the Russians show up.
Alexa! It's Alexa! And she wakes up.
Wow.
Okay, so we're going to play a game, guys. The first person, I want you to give me an animal. Somebody give me an animal.
Come on,
Make
Marsha.
it a little bit unusual. Don't give me just a dog or something, right? If it's a dog, give me
Exotic.
a specific animal.
And apparently, make sure you know if it lives in the woods or not.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
something easy
we're
to-
going to play the game. We're going to play 20 questions with our electronic device in the room that is always listening. This is, as we wait for our guests to chime in with us, today's question, the topic that we're going to spend the rest of the show, all 30 minutes that we have left, talking about
Yes,
is Big Brother Chupacabra. Yes,
I bet it'll get it.
yeah, probably. Duck-billed platypus. We will roll with that one. I like that.
Wow.
I like that. Duck-billed platypus. I like it. I promise you, guys, I have nothing to do with the Russians.
I love you, Russian, whoever you are. You're
Pronounce
hilarious.
your name for us, Mr. Russian.
That's good.
Pronounce
Good.
your name for
I
us,
wish
please.
you guys could see these comments.
Yes.
They
Yeah. I
are
wish you guys.
good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in the comment feed, so they can see it.
Oh,
But,
you
yeah,
can.
yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Please,
Sorry.
please pronounce your
That's-
name for us.
yeah.
I can't speak that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
many
Seriously.
Russians. I thought they were all named Sergey.
Right.
Sergey or
Yes. And
No.
Yeah.
and
Does that mean?
and
think I know.
Anastasia.
that's a good name.
And
Oh,
Anastasia.
yes.
Yeah. 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 So, all right, Jay
Jay
Williams.
Williams.
Like you,
That threw me for a curve.
Oh,
Funny.
that's like every Indian tech
Marsha.
support person,
I bet he used Google Translate.
right? Right. I mean, like every Indian tech support person that I've ever talked
Marsha, are you
to,
drinking
after
wine?
they say like the
Marsha's
mile-long
drinking
name, Raj Damish, but you can call me Tim.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, where did you get Tim
Jay
from?
Williams.
Out of all that. That's so awesome.
JJW. All right, JJ.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome to
So
the show, Judy.
all right, so we're going to play a game here. All right, the subject, guys, that we're going to finish off. I love some of these animals.
Narwhal.
A narwhal.
Chicken lips.
Problem is, I wouldn't know enough about the narwhal to be able to answer
Chicken
it.
lips is an animal?
No, that's just her saying, hey, Marcia.
Chicken lips. Oh, she's just saying
No, but
that.
it's great in a pot of beans.
That's right.
Orangutan.
Can I let them know who you're
Chinchilla,
married to?
orangutan.
Chinchilla.
I love these. I like the platypus, though. We're going to roll with the platypus. All right.
Platypus, yeah.
It's such
Let
a
me
weird.
Google
That's just a
that.
weird animal.
Can I Google it?
I think
I know
when
Lloyd's here.
I think like God was running out of ideas when he got to the platypus. He's like, I don't know.
And this one.
I'll shove a penguin together with a duck. Yeah. I need one more animal.
Randall says tree
Yes,
frog.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
Randall.
All right, so the question of the day is, we have these electronic devices. I can't say her name because she's in the room, so I'll leave this one to the imagination. But Google Home, Siri, Microsoft's Cortana, we have all these devices that you just say their name, and they're right there to help you out with whatever thing you need help with.
Except
And
they can't come give it to you like. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying. That's one thing they can't do. They
We
might-
just went.
Hey, we did have a show.
The
Sex
Wine No
Dolls.
Wine
It's the
Show.
wine- the
Adult
wine works.
edition.
Hey,
The product
called-
works.
we did have a show just like 2 weeks ago
That's
that
called-
was from sex dolls to
I was on
automated.
that show.
She was on that show, yes. It is our most viewed show in the history of the Wine and Wine
Are
Show.
you serious?
You
That
say-
means
You
gotta
say
come back.
That's
sex
the
robot,
world you
everybody
live in.
watches.
Yes.
That's the world.
The
That means you
show
gotta come back with
was
Are there any
We
links
don't
in that
care
thread?
about Hillary
right.
and the
Yeah,
FBI.
actually, I did. Find some links.
Asking for
You're
a
like,
friend.
sex robot, what?
Ding, 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 ding,
100,000
ding,
views,
ding, ding.
100,000 views.
That's what got over the 100,000.
Yeah, right. I don't know why. Views just shot up after that show.
Yo,
They're like,
come on.
where is
Sex
the robot?
sells.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
sex
show
sells.
was from sex dolls to automated McDonald's
concern.
checkout.
I guess
Will
it's still
machines replace us? Yeah, they're not extinct. Yeah, platypuses are definitely still around.
And that's
Least
his-
concern.
What is
That's
that
the first thing I've ever heard Tamara get wrong.
That's the beak.
Yeah, they have like a
platypus.
duck bill.
Like-
Yeah, they're a very weird animal. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What
Uh,
is she?
Seal and
She
a.
thought they
Even
were
more
extinct.
weird after wine.
Mhm.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, I think
I
God
think
was
I
running out
want
of
one.
ideas. I think he was
He
just
has
like,
an incredible sense of humor.
We're gonna play.
we're gonna take a
Are we-
beaver
Are we waking her up?
and shove it together with a
Beaver,
duck.
seal, and a duck.
Are we
Beaver,
waking
seal,
her
Make
up?
it like a seal. It can swim. You
Yeah,
know.
give him a little.
Yeah.
Very
Crazy animal.
Okay, are we
Short,
waking
very
her up?
short.
Are we doing this
Yeah.
live? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
they're fluent in Norwegian.
Oh, platypi.
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 Okay, so we're gonna play this. We're gonna play 20 questions.
Listen.
The topic of the show is these devices are in our home, and is this a welcome invasion of privacy? Right? 40 years ago, if you had said, "Hey, I'm gonna put a device in your bedroom, and it's gonna be listening all the time," does that sound like a good idea to you? I think we might have got a different answer than the answer we got.
Well, in my room,
Get today.
in my bedroom, it's a camcorder, but it's not connected to anything.
What just happened?
Oh, yes. Is the wife
Is
watching
your wife
today?
on there? Mama,
Got it,
All right.
got it.
All right, so we're
Tame
gonna
your
play.
husband.
We're gonna play a game right now. We have one in the room. We're gonna play 20 questions with this device and see if the device can get it right. I don't know if I know enough about a platypus to see if it's gonna actually work, but hopefully I'll get this right.
Okay.
So, Alexa, 20 questions.
Let's play 20 questions. Is it an animal,
Yes.
vegetable, or mineral?
Animal.
Can't we even get an
Is it
American
close?
Alexa?
Repeat the question.
Does it have claws?
Yes.
She said clothes.
Does it come in many varieties?
No.
I wasn't expecting that. Does it have a long tail?
Yes.
Can you lift it?
Yes.
Is it a carnivore?
No.
Is it a nocturnal animal?
Yes.
Is it smaller than a loaf of bread?
No.
Can you smell it?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think that
Is it
thing's.
a rodent?
No.
It's kind of a rodent. It's rodent.
I guess that it is a kinkajou.
Nope.
You messed it up.
I messed it up because I said it's not a carnivore.
It's a carnivore.
It's
and
a carnivore.
I said it was.
I thought
Boom.
it said in a carnival.
Okay, let's try again. Alexa, cancel.
I missed
We're gonna do
What
orangutan.
is the dance teacher?
We're gonna do
have to know?
orangutan. I threw her off. I said they're not carnivores, and they are carnivores. That was my bad.
I misheard.
Alexa.
Time to run.
Alexa, cancel. Alexa,
Thanks for playing.
Alexa,
No.
20 questions. Orangutan.
Welcome to 20 questions. You have a game in progress. Would you like to continue?
No.
Okay, starting a new game. Is it an animal, vegetable, or mineral?
Animal.
Is it furry?
Yes.
Is it considered valuable?
Yes.
Would you find it on a farm?
No.
Is it very large?
Yes.
Is it very large?
Yes.
Does it have a long tail?
No.
Is it a predator?
No.
Does it live in salt water?
No.
Is it useful?
No.
Let me think. Does it jump?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
They jump up in the trees.
Sorry,
Look at
I
me.
couldn't understand that.
Yes.
Try saying irrelevant.
Yes.
Can you switch it on and off?
No.
I guess that it is an ape.
Yes. What? All right. It said ape.
I won.
Yes,
Can
you
I
got
play
it.
a new game?
Oh.
No.
Well.
That's an ape.
Alexa,
No,
No,
do
no,
you
wait,
work
I
for the
started over with
CIA?
orangutan.
I'm sorry, I missed
We
that.
did a whole nother game.
Yes.
We did a
Because
whole
I
nother
answered
game.
wrong.
On
I
and
said it
off.
wasn't.
That was
I said it
weird.
wasn't
I
a
don't know.
carnivore,
He
and
said
it
do,
is.
Randall said do a tree frog.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing, though. She does it. I think she will purposely ask you goofy questions once she's already
To
figured it
throw you
out.
off.
Yeah.
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 She's still got questions to ask.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
scary, because that means
Yeah.
she's thinking.
She's already dialed it
She's
in.
messing with you.
So
Yeah, she's messing with
Alexa
you.
is messing with you. Yes, yeah. So
Wow.
that's what we have in the room here, folks. What is your thoughts on this? I personally, I have an Alexa in my bedroom. I have one in my living room. I've got one in my office. And I'll save my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts? We have these devices in our homes 24/7. I'll give you a couple one quick example here. Vizio. This is a lesser thing, but Vizio got busted for defaulting their smart TVs to tracking your browsing habits, like your viewing habits, what you were watching, right? And that was supposed to be defaulted to off, and you had to opt in for that behavior. They just, oops, we just turned that on by accident. A fun technology here. You guys may not have heard this. I just Googled this myself. Just found this out before the show. Devices now, this is already in place and already being used. Our devices are listening for ultrasonic beacons. When you're shopping, they will now emit an ultrasonic frequency while you're shopping, checking out. You can't hear it, but your phone can. So it communicates to your phone what you're buying and where you're buying it without you knowing.
Yeah, this is a great
And
idea.
then market.
Great idea?
Brilliant.
Great idea! How do you feel about it now? You're walking around with that device in your pocket that you've willingly signed up for that is tracking your shopping behaviors. How do you feel about it?
That's always on yourself.
You're wide open.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw it to you. Let's go around. Give our
The
quick
cell
take on
phone-
this.
The smartphones have us wide open. People can have this little device, this gadget. They can walk by you and swipe all your information. How do you think that these phone calls are coming in? These spoofs are coming in and dialing your number, and the numbers look just like yours. The same area code, so you're answering because you think it's somebody that you know because it's a phone number similar to yours or similar to somebody that you know. It's all about the Matrix. We're caught. We're done. It's a wrap. Like they're watching.
It is done.
They're hearing me right now.
It is done.
The cameras on our phones, not just for taking selfies. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It is done. It is done.
The government can
They
see
got
what you're doing
you. It's
right
a
now.
wrap. It's a wrap. Just be good.
It's so
Just be good.
Just be as good as you can.
It's I don't know.
You know what, though?
I got a 50-50 take on
Go ahead,
it.
go ahead.
I'm on 50-50. I mean, I love technology. Just recently been introduced. I have an Alexa in my home as a gift for my boyfriend. Hey, little shout out. And I appreciate that, but at the same time, I've been at his place and he's all wired up, and we're a drop in on someone accidentally. It's very sensitive, and I'm not going to say the person's name, but it was like late at night, and they were like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, click. It was really bizarre, but Alexa accidentally dropped in on someone. Okay, so
Oh, no way.
yeah, it was just weird, and I was like, what? Who's talking? Like, we didn't even know who was talking. I mean, so I think I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I love technology and make my life a little easier, but I don't want to be lazy. I want to be able to do for myself. I want to keep myself organized. I don't want to leave it up to this and the government to watch everything that I do, and I surely don't want anybody listening to anything going on in my house. Just saying.
Right.
I need my privacy.
Sydney.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think it's cool. Like, it is cool that you can dim your lights to a certain degree or whatever and not have to get up. But it is intrusive. And just like laptops and camcorders, everyone is putting tape and stuff
Webcams.
over. Yeah.
Webcams. As my daughter is flicking the piece of paper over
like,
my webcam right
everyone
now.
is putting paper over it and stuff, so it's the same thing. You can literally say, "Hey Siri" or "Hey Google," and everyone's phone will light up and like, what do you need?
Yay, I'm
Like,
here. I'm here.
No,
Yeah.
see, but yeah, I mean it's cool,
Yes,
but it's not really needed. It's really not needed. It's a luxury, but it's 2018 and people can find
like
a way
Marsha's-
to do anything.
I love you, Marcia. You're awesome.
It's called exercise.
I feel like she's looking at me with
Yeah.
Marsha?
Marsha, as soon as you have teenagers,
She's raised them all. by the way.
especially my son, who seems physically, mentally,
best
and
mom.
emotionally incapable of turning off the kitchen and or bathroom light.
Yes.
You will appreciate
Save
the
some-
device that you can just be staying on your couch as he's marching up the stairs, having left all the freaking lights on in the
Turn the
house.
kitchen lights off.
And you can say, "Turn the lights off!" and they actually go off. Instead of your son going, "Oh, yeah."
She said
You're
6.
closer.
Can Alexa?
Marsha, you can appreciate the pain then. You know where I'm coming from.
Can this A chick? Can she
Yes.
lock doors and stuff? Can
Yes.
Oh, she can do
She
a
can
lot.
lock doors.
Yep.
If you have like electronic Bluetooth doors, absolutely.
Talk to your fridge.
Oh, she's
There's
crazy.
literally no
She's
limit.
a diva.
There's
Yeah.
no
Oh my
limit.
God.
It actually
Seven-
does a lot more
But
than I
you said
thought.
earlier,
you can
there's some
say-
things she cannot do.
You
There's
can say set the temperature to this, and the AC turns on. Lock the doors.
That's
You-
if you have like a whole like technology house.
Yep.
Like everything,
You got everything
has to be able to
smart
sync.
thing.
Yeah.
You got to be a smart house.
Wow. See, I don't.
So that's
Listen.
that's the
I
technology.
wouldn't
And then-
want that.
and for you guys
It's
listening-
a choice.
go, Scott. I'm gonna let Scott.
Yeah,
Scott
come on,
chime in. Go ahead.
Scott, sorry.
Scott. Sorry.
go.
Go ahead.
Alexa, do you work for the CIA?
No, I work for Amazon.
Exactly what somebody who works for the CIA would
Would
say.
say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Watch this.
Right.
Watch this. Watch this. Alexa, what should I do with the body?
If the death is expected, call the deceased's GP or the out-of-hours service you are directed to. For an unexpected death, call 999.
Now she said 999 because I hacked her and I made her think that we're in the UK so I could have a British accent.
Oh my
So-
god.
That's the thing for
So
British accent.
Yes.
so my thoughts on Alexa.
When I had her non-British,
She was 911.
and I said
It
that,
was 911.
she goes, "I would take the body to the police."
She said calling the police now on you.
Yes,
He
yes.
was.
So-
Yeah.
There's some funny
So
stuff.
technology is absolutely amazing, right?
It's very cool.
And it's a gift. It's a gift of knowledge, and it has so many good uses and things that it has accomplished. But in the same sentence, 83-year-old cynical me knows that this is just a disaster waiting to happen. And so now, if you had Alexa that was not passively listening, where you could engage it only when you wanted to, but it has to actively or passively listen to everything that you say. And have you ever been talking to your friend or whatever about, hey, are we going to go to the Granillo's baby shower? Bing! You have a 30% off coupon for Babies R Us. I mean, these things are working on you. That happens all the time. And the thing is, at least Alexa, you're engaging and getting benefit out of it. But I guarantee you, the same stuff without the benefit is happening on your smartphones.
Oh,
Your Direct TV is listening to you so that they know how to advertise to you. And the thing is that you can say all day long that these are private companies and they're going to keep this only for whatever. But we've already seen cases where that's not the case.
Well, it ties into
no Alexa in my house.
It ties into the first part, which was when it becomes politically expedient and you've got the clout. Now I can use a National Security Administration to take that kind of data and work it against you, right? And I guarantee you, like I've thought about it. I've been thinking about it all day because I knew this was going to be the topic, and first of all, I have these devices all over the place, and I freaking love them. I use them every day. I get up in the morning. What's on my calendar? She tells me. Off I go. When I hang up, when I hang up the phone.
Not the Constitution, Tamara.
When I hang up the phone, and somebody said, "Yeah, man, give me a call tomorrow. We'll get together." The first thing I do when I hang up the phone is remind me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to call so and so. And then tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. on my phone, there's the reminder. Off we go. It's fantastic, right? I literally don't have to hire an assistant because I have one already, right? And she's flawless. And I use it for everything. I mean, put on this music. I mean, everything. I use it for everything. I use it to look up goofy information. We're sitting there watching TV, and it's like, I wonder, who the first, person to win the World Series as a second baseman was. I don't, whatever, just random thing.
Yeah,
and,
just in a debate with someone hey, solve this for us.
And it's there at your fingertips. I love it. I love it. But so I mean, it's integrated into my business life all over the place.
Do you feel like you're lazy, Joe?
No, not even a little. I'm massively busy, and it allows me to be even more efficient.
Productive and efficient.
Productive.
So
I'm not spending time looking up goofy stuff. I've got it at my fingertips like that. I'm not spending time. Literally, get out the phone. What do you do then if you set an appointment? Well, now I open my Outlook calendar. I go and say who it is. I'll kind of type it all up, all that kind of stuff.
But don't you think that makes you help you remember it better?
No,
like,
but I don't. Listen,
you don't need to remember it.
Literally, I don't even need to. I don't even need to cloud my brain with that. Yeah, I don't need to.
I think here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think that as much as we want to say, as much as the whatever body or frame or school of thought thinks that the world is coming to an end and all that, we gotta every now and then you've got this countdown of your world is gonna end in 30 days and tomorrow, and everybody wakes up to see if we're dead, right? And the world didn't end, so we're
Alexa, are we dead?
So
she didn't answer. What's up with her?
But what's actually happening is not the world coming to an end, but the world is actually expanding. It's not ending; it's expanding, and we are at the cutting edge of creating this expansive world. That's my take. Alexa, what do you think? Are we expanding or are we done?
I'm surprised you hadn't responded a lot more.
So do you have the illusion that within the context of the Alexa Amazon system, do you have the illusion that your privacy is secure?
No.
Or are you willing? It's a acceptable exchange for you.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I know that my privacy is already out there, right? I live a very transparent life as it is, right? I put myself out there just as a public figure and all this sort of thing. I'm very open about my thoughts, and that's like the show. I mean, this is the show. I put it out there, and as I remind people, I've had people message me in private and say, "You like pain, don't you?" And I laugh, and I'm like, "No, I don't like pain. I'm just not afraid of it."
Right.
I'm willing to take the hit, right? I really am. I'll start a conversation that I know I'm going to get abuse on. Just because I believe that the importance of the conversation exceeds the pain that I'm going to take. Similarly, that I know that my private life is exposed in having all these devices. And I have nothing to hide in my private life at all. I have nothing to I'm happily married. I've got a great relationship with my wife, all this stuff. Here's my concern. The bigger concern, and they do it already now, all the time, context, right? You could take certain comments from me and clip them, and Joe hates Jewish people, right?
So were we?
And because why? Because for all my life, I've been a Weird Al person, right? I make up songs, and my daughter will like shake her head at this, and I Weird Al everything, and I'm again transparency. Jew rhymes with a lot of words, to, shmoo. I mean, right? And so that becomes, instead of a person that says you, like I love you, it becomes I love Jews, right? It's terrible. I acknowledge it, right? I'm just Weird Al-ing it to be stupid and ridiculous and funny, right? And so consequently, now, if a political candidate who had the clout to, get the FBI behind them, they hack my Alexa, go through all of the server records, and they clip those moments out. Oh, now Joe's anti-Semite.
Yeah.
Right? And now I've got to explain these quotes, right? That's exactly what we're dealing with in today's climate. That's what I'm more afraid of. I'm not afraid of an accurate representation of my life. Put it out there. I can care less.
Taken out of context.
Right. Things taken out of context. You can put your own spin on anything. And that's kind of what you were getting at earlier, what you said. It's like, at the end of the day, it can be represented any darn way we want to make the other person look like an idiot. Actually, I think it was Terry that was getting at that, where he was saying both sides are just as corrupt and everything else now. Yeah. So that's definitely more what I'm worried about, overall. We've had a ton of comments fly by. I haven't acknowledged anybody in jumping in on the feed here.
We've had a lot going on today.
We did.
It's been a crazy
We're at
show.
the end of the show. Let's say hello to some folks. First of all, Marsha, your friend Marsha, she's tuning in here lately. Marsha, love your comments.
Hey, Marsha.
Refreshing the page.
Oh, refreshing the page. Okay, I was just like,
Look right.
at the moment I want to acknowledge everybody's comments, my daughter cleared them off the screen. Marsha, thank you for tuning in. Tamara's been on the show. Phenomenal. She's super cool. She said pretty sure the platypus is extinct. We looked that up. They're not. We're good. Tina, thank you for tuning in. Matt and Rosie. Matt is Rosemary, who works here at the company. Thank you for tuning in. Samantha.
Is she the one with the immaculate desk?
She's the one with the immaculate. Your spirit animal.
You're my spirit animal,
Yes.
Rosie.
Yes.
I sat there and adored your desk for
He
like
admired
20
your
minutes.
desk for at least 20 minutes. Yeah.
That's funny.
Aw.
Marsha. Samantha McCauley. Samantha is the significant other of our behind-the-scenes production crew, Alex. Thank you for tuning in, Samantha. Always has some great comments.
Oh, you're in a profile picture.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That's
We had a
how it
bunch of comments from Matt and Rosie. Keep going. Randall tuned in. Thanks. He said it's a mammal. He was talking about the platypus. It's a
And do
mammal.
it,
Yes. I'm pretty sure Alexa will spontaneously combust. Do a tree frog. Tamara. Keep going. Marsha. We had a bunch of people that were timing in over and
A
over.
paper Rolodex.
Organize
Tina-
your life and
Oh,
protect
can I
your
say hi to
privacy.
Wendy Baker and Danielle Caldwell? They're new to the show.
Very cool.
Keep watching.
Keep watching. Keep tuning
Fun-
in.
fun deal.
Tina said it is possible that government wants to eventually someday use these devices to study, spy on us. Creepy.
Someday.
Someday? Yeah, I would say that day's already here. Yeah, that day's already here. Matt Chambers, you said need some tinfoil hats.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah,
I think that suggests that they're crazy. And
Yeah, the idea that we're being spied on or whatever else
Being
needs some
watched.
tinfoil hats.
Ooh,
I think it's a justifiable argument. I really
it's
do.
a reasonable conclusion.
It's a
at this
reasonable
point.
conclusion. Like I said, Google it. We are already being spied on. Your TV tracking habits, Vizio got busted for that. That was a oops on our part. They paid a $2.2 million fine. That's a done deal, already known. They're already tracking beacons, ultrasonic frequencies that are being emitted so that your phone can track a beacon. A beacon then tells the person where you're at. So when you're shopping and checking out, if you're checking out and the beacon goes off, they know you're checking out. So they know you're shopping at that place.
Police
So,
cars have the license plate scanners.
Yeah.
license
So
plate
everywhere you
scanners.
drive, they're scanning, so they could draw a little map of everywhere you've gone.
You know, Snapchat
Have gone.
has a feature where you can literally see. It's called a snap map, and if it's available, like if you have it turned on your phone, you can see where any of your friends on Snapchat are. So nothing is really private.
Nothing is private.
Apparently,
So
they're
not
already
if you're
always at
connected-
dinner.
Not if you have a social security number or a fingerprint or
Fingerprints,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
so we
like
can- I mean,
face recognition stuff. Like
Oh, let me finish.
it is 2018, and
You're in
people
the-
are.
It's a brave
I mean,
new world.
people are smart, man. Like
Live
you
transparent.
can
amazing.
hack
It's
anything. You can put together
It's
anything. You can.
we can be doing have whatever it is we want and go wherever we want and like I mean just think about it. If we have the capability of figuring out how to get to the moon and creating, we're so godlike. Seriously.
It's scary. It's honestly,
It
it's a
shouldn't be.
little scary,
but,
man.
But you know what?
Well, you know
don't
what?
be scared. Just see. That's the thing. It's not about being afraid. It's about being tapped in and tuned in and aligned. Like
For being accountable.
You know,
See,
you're touching on my same comment where I said, look, if you represent me accurately, if you're like, hey, we're going to expose Joe's private life, well, then I'm like,
And
hey,
do it
I'm good.
exactly.
I'm like, well, then if you expose my private life genuinely and openly and give all the data, I'm 100% cool. If you snip it
And
to
then
and
you can-
put your spin on
Oh,
it.
Yeah, put your
don't
spin
get
on
me
it.
started.
Don't put your
Right.
spin
Marsha,
on
you
me.
already know what I'm about to talk about.
So that's where I have a problem, and that's the
question
thing
my
I worry
integrity.
about. That's the thing I worry about, and I think that's what we're dealing with. That was kind of where the beginning of the show started off with, was that we have a private citizen who used actually charitable money to pay for, came from the Clinton Foundation to pay for
well, it's an abuse
this
of
money.
power. which we've all seen
To
a
hire
number
a
of times.
governmental private agency to produce a document that actually ended up not being actually correct. They paid for something that wasn't even right, which is pretty funny.
All around.
We've got to
it
hire.
is.
We hire our
and-
government to do something that they cannot do.
It's not their authority. It's not their position. It's not, etc. Tamara said, "Who is John Galt?"
Yes.
That's a freaking great comment, Tamara. There's a lot of meat in that comment. Who is John
Who's J.
Galt?
Paul Getty? No, I'm just kidding.
Who
It's
is
a good
John?
movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Who is John Galt? Is a line from Atlas Shrugged and
The
Red.
number 2 hero in the book Atlas Shrugged.
Yes.
Behind Francisco de Acuña.
Yes, yes. Which is, at the end of the day, producers, people who are captains of industry, whatever you wanted to call them, but people who are getting stuff done, eventually said, you know what, I'm really tired of government standing on my shoulders and taking my production and giving it to people who don't want to produce, and I'm just going to check out. See y'all later. They just disappeared.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And they formed their own little society, and they just disappeared off the face of the earth, and nobody knew where they went. And meanwhile, society was collapsing. Anyway, that's a crash course in Who is John Galt there. So can we talk about the jury system someday? Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
As long as we talk about jury nullification.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I'll put that on the. I'll have to.
I
put that
won't
on
tell him
the-
who your husband is yet.
Jewelry or jewelry? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Tamara's
Jewelry?
dropping
Did you say jewelry?
the jewelry
Jewelry?
system.
Oh,
jewelry.
I'm like,
Jewelry.
Man, you're honestly a racist.
Jewelry,
That's just terrible. You just went jewelry on us.
Put all jewelry on us.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
she's Brave New World, 1980. She's dropping some book references on us today. Another great book there. Hey, everybody.
Fiction no longer.
Hey,
Tamara needs to be on the show.
everybody
Yeah.
is equal. It's just some people are
With
more
Marsha.
equal.
Marsha and Tamara.
Marsha and Tamara. What about
Head to
Braveheart?
Braveheart.
The movie. No,
Yes.
She just-
Freedom! Freedom! All right, sorry.
best movie ever.
All right.
So is J.
Jury,
Paul
not
Getty. All the
jewelry.
money in the world. Y'all should see that.
Yes.
Explains a lot.
Speaking of book references, this is the nothing to do with anything segment of the show.
Uh-huh.
I'm reading a book right now called The Creature from Jekyll Island, and it is all about how the Federal Reserve was created. And you talk about a great scam.
That title does not lead you to that
I know,
conclusion.
right? I thought it was Jekyll
Well-
and Hyde or
Well,
something.
here's the thing. The Creature from Jekyll Island. Jekyll Island was where a extremely secretive meeting was held. Jekyll Island is in Georgia, I want to say, off the coast of Georgia. And a then senator with a super private boxcar. Back in the day, early 1900s, boxcars were the big deal, you know. Train boxcar. Had a super secretive meeting with 6 guys that were the heads of the the top 6 banks in the world. And this is how secretive it was. The staff who normally took care of the boxcar was released for the day. An entirely different staff was hired, right? All of the guests were instructed to only use their first names. 2 of the guests opted to even change their names. They just made up names specifically for that meeting to get together and talk about getting America off the gold system. That was a first step. They were a bank cartel. They basically, mafiaized the bank system. Yes, if that's a word. The banking system in America, and they met at Jekyll Island. And at that time, those 6 guys represented 1/4 of all of the world's wealth. If that's not a stat that blows your mind. Wow. 1/4 of all the world's wealth in this little boxcar to talk about how they could basically screw America. Yeah, it's the book is fascinating.
We have come so far.
Highly recommended. Yes, I highly recommend it. It's a really enlightening book, and why we should get rid of the Fed. Why you should be massively concerned about it. The Federal Reserve there's nothing federal about it, and there's nothing reserve about it.
Private.
Two bad words.
Private
Entity.
entity. Yeah, private entity. And even more fun, check this out. $6 trillion unaccounted for. Unaccounted for. Just $6 trillion.
6 trillion.
That's
just 6 trillion.
Yeah. Unaccounted
we
for.
have no idea.
And nobody in America.
It's questioning it.
Nobody in America is asking where it's at.
Because it's
Right?
an empty hamburger.
And actually, Tamara corrects me. She said, Joe, you're speaking about Animal Farm. Yes, I'm speaking about Animal Farm. It's right there in line with all the same vein of what we're talking about book-wise. But yes, you're absolutely correct. I was referencing Animal Farm. When I said some animals, we're all equal. Some animals are just more equal. That's Animal Farm.
And I harass my wife when she spends $6.68 at Kroger.
Yeah.
What's this for? We already bought groceries this week.
No, you don't.
Tamara said they eat a scheme to set up a way to sell our own currency back to us with interest. That's absolutely right. Actually, Terry Brian Benning said in the Fed. Yes, absolutely in the Fed. If you guys knew anything about it, it would be hashtag in the Fed. You'd be freaking out about it. It's the biggest scam.
Oh, then I want to read it because I want to keep freaking out about stuff.
It's the biggest scam perpetrated on the American people ever. The short version is
that and New Coke.
And
New
that
Coke.
and religion and Christianity. Anyway,
hey,
yeah.
different
If
show.
you want to talk about a big scam, let's talk. Let's get some real topics. I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, okay.
There's another
Let's talk
show.
about the biggest scam.
There's another show.
Known to man.
I'm sure we have disagreement. But anyway, the
Nazi.
Yes, you're obviously
You're
a Nazi.
Nazi. We're burning your house down.
I'm going outside to set fire to your
Where do
car.
you live? Be there at midnight.
In
I'm
the
not
bed.
talking about every aspect of Christendom. I'm talking about the dumb part of Christendom.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that really is another show. That really
It
is another
really
show.
Yeah.
Tamara said they eat and scheme to set up a way to sell our own currency back to us with interest.
A scheme.
They
She
established
corrected
a scheme to set up a way to sell our own currency. Yeah, so the super paraphrased version of the book is the banks got together and said, how can we not only limit our risk, but get rid of our risk in lending money? And
That's brilliant.
we won't even worry about lending money on a small scale. We're going to look at how can we loan hundreds of millions of dollars to foreign governments and that sort of thing, and then create a way to where we will get the government to guarantee the loan on the backs of the American people. That's basically what they did in the early 1900s, and they did it. It's done.
And our
It's done.
parents paid that bill.
We used to trade salt and rocks and just
It's
Worked
I mean,
ourselves
legitimately-
to the bone.
trade
legitimately,
bones and
It's
look,
done.
done.
Now, when a massive loan is in default to a third world country that they were getting all kind of great interest on, this is a super pared down version of the argument, but basically that bank then says to the federal government, look, if this loan defaults, then we will collapse. And if we collapse, it's going to massively, this many 100,000 employees are going to be laid off, and that's going to cause a domino effect, and the whole economy is going to tank and go under. This loan cannot default. Then the government then steps up and says, well, we will guarantee the loan, and we're going to back these payments, and we're going to do it through taxation. So now the American people have guaranteed a loan to a third world country. The bank is all in the wind. They get their loan paid, and it's a guaranteed payment, and off we go. And that's what we have right now in America. It's the reality. That's
and that doesn't even address the impact that it has on the currency, because college tuition, for example, student loans are guaranteed.
It devalues the currency.
And so what has happened to tuition? Tuition has inflated faster than anything else in the country.
So check it out.
Because why do you care how much you charge if the federal government is going to guarantee
Guarantee
pay for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Trust me,
So
I
check it
know.
out. So the first step they did was to get America off the gold standard. They needed an elastic monetary system. So that was the beautiful.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Yeah, right. And what that meant was they needed the freedom to create money. They needed the freedom to be able to print money.
Right.
So, we need $100 million to loan to a third world country, right? No problem. Let's get the printing presses rolling. Yeah. It's not connected to anything.
Nothing.
It's not based on anything. It's purely just manufactured.
Welcome to America Inc.,
Right,
y'all.
right.
America Inc.
out of the blue, right? And so now they loan it to the country. Then the stages are they loan it to the country, they charge interest, the country's paying interest. At some point, then the country says we're no longer able to pay the interest,
Payment.
right?
It.
Then the first step, and he goes through all the steps, and it's so documented and everything that you're just like, holy crap, this is the way it is.
So is America,
Right?
so is America a loan shark?
Yeah, basically, yes. Well, no, not America. The banks are,
Federal
and
Reserve.
we are the insurer.
Okay,
We are
so
the
We're
guarantor.
guaranteed.
So-
yeah.
We're the guarantor.
Yes.
So
Our taxes.
The federal.
If you can pull it
the
off, it's
federal
freaking
bank,
brilliant.
The federal. What is it called?
Federal Reserve,
Reserve.
which is just
Which
a
is
bank
joke.
cartel.
It's not even a real.
No.
It's not even a real.
There's
entity.
nothing federal about it, and there's nothing reserve
federal.
about
It's not
it.
a government entity.
No,
It's some
it's a private.
perfunctory foolishness.
It's a private bank
I mean, with that,
cartel.
too.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. It is a cartel. It is a.
It's a cartel.
It was the.
Quantitative
That's kind of
easing.
sexy though. Like.
Cartel.
It was the. It was
Not
the.
Cartier,
It
not
was the
Cartier,
top
cartel.
banks.
That's a cartel. That's gangster. That's straight gangster.
It is. It's straight gangster.
Gangster.
It's the top banks
the
in the
government
world.
is a gangster now.
It's the top banks in the world that got together and said, "How can we eliminate?"
And
our
what were their
risk?"
names?
Well, it's all you go to the big ones. Chase.
Jim.
all-
It would
yeah,
be
all-
Chase. It
But-
would be
JP
I
Morgan.
But you go back.
JP Morgan, Chase.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But you have to
My
go back to
brother-in-law works
the.
for JP.
You have to go back to the roots.
used to.
The Rockefellers.
The
you have to go-
Rockefellers.
Yeah.
It's
The
about
men who
three. It
built
was like 3 or
America.
4 families.
Yes.
Who built America?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
That was a
really.
good series.
Who really
Yeah.
owns America?
Yeah. But it's not
Carnegie.
just. Listen.
Carnegie. yeah.
It's actually important to understand. It's not just America. That it's global. Right. It's a centralized banking system. You track that. My poor daughter is like
time?
this.
We're like 7 o'clock?
We're so deep into
Hey,
another conversation. It's
Okay,
6:14.
let's go.
This is another show.
Rate the
Happens
wine.
with the
Let's rate
They're
the
not
wine.
wine.
paying
Let's
us
rate the
enough for
wine.
this.
Let's
We
rate the
started
wine
with
that we
wine.
drank an hour ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's just rate the white wine.
This is another show.
We're on red now.
In the Fed. That I'm going to put it on the topic list for next week. It's such a great
Thank you,
topic.
Ashley.
Jury and
Meanwhile-
this needs to be a 75-minute show with one commercial break.
There you go. That's what it
sponsor
is.
break.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
so come on, sponsor
Okay,
the
so,
show.
guys,
Businesses out there.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great.
Let's do it.
I'll close out with
Great
that.
idea.
I'm taking 4 sponsors total. I already have one. Tuesday, I'm meeting with the second one. That's going to be a done deal. So we have 2 sponsor slots left for the show. This show is now viewed by over 25,000 people a month. If you want to get in front of customers at a super cheap rate, I mean, I literally have showed the sponsor package to a
Don't
lot
say
of
cheap.
people.
We're not cheap. No, not cheap.
I'm not cheap, but I will tell you.
I'm not connecting my name to cheap.
I will. Right?
No.
I'm sorry.
We're not going to be able to do
We
that.
need to
I'll
talk
tell
about
you.
that script later.
I will tell you that I showed the sponsor package to a number of business people before I made it public, and all of them universally said the same thing. You're charging way too little for the sponsorship
The
package.
value and ROI are out the roof.
Yes, the value and ROI are really, really high. Yes, Yes, I love that comment. James Taylor. Lincoln and Kennedy tried to end the Federal Reserve. Funny they were both assassinated. That's 100% real.
Interesting.
Yes, 100% real.
There
Both
was
of
a
them.
Federal Reserve in 1860?
Actually, the movement to set it up.
Ours was
There
1934.
was multiple points where it was tried to be put into place. So in the 1860s, it wasn't in place. It was being attempted at that time.
Gotcha.
And he very much opposed it, and he ended up dead. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the plot
Was John
thickens.
Wilkes
Yes.
Booth uncle named like Mr. Jonathan Chase?
Right, exactly. Harley is calling.
He's calling me.
Harley!
too.
Your
Harley!
girlfriend is fine.
We're still on the show,
Quit
darn it!
calling. She is
Alexa,
right
block
here.
calls from Harley.
She is going nowhere.
Yes!
We
So
are taking
I'm putting
her
it-
away.
I'm putting it on the list for
She's
next
not even
week.
drinking that much, Harley.
Should the Federal
They are
Reserve...
too short. We need more time.
Yes, the shows are too short. It's so difficult.
Ashley's
to-
not gonna like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ashley's
she's
like,
ready to
she's
rake
over.
it.
She's yawning.
Calculator is
Done.
up, ready
Yeah.
to go. Where's
Yeah.
our papers?
All right, good night.
Oh my gosh.
Did
We're
you
rating.
do away with the papers?
No!
Where's the rating?
Don't make
Dang
us
it.
F-bomb.
Are they?
They're in my office.
No.
It's been a
It's okay.
special
We'll
time.
We can
do
do
it
it.
on the fly.
Let's
We'll
do
do
it
it on the
with
fly.
our
Yeah, we'll do it on the
fingers.
fly.
We're doing with our fingers.
All right,
got
so
fingers. We're
my
good.
daughter is going to get it right now. I'll stall for 30 seconds while she grabs it. The show next week, you guys be sure to tune in to the Artist Edition 7 p.m. And you be sure to tune in to the
Thursday.
Friday show at 5 p.m. Like and share the show. We're on a mission to save America. That's not a joke. You'll also want to do, if you haven't already, click on the send message button on the page. Encourage your friends to do this. Click on the send message button and click on get started. It subscribes you to the messenger feature on our page, which is actually really cool. It sends you an alert a minute before the show goes live. On a rare occasion like today's show where I was incompetent and didn't fix that, we do it during the show. But nevertheless, you still got an alert. And it gives you a link straight to the show. It makes it really easy to tune in and dial into the show.
Alert! Hey, you just missed the Wine No Wine show.
Right.
That's the replay.
Alert! The show is already 10 minutes underway.
Wait, after a post alert.
Marcia, thank you for tuning in. Good night. I say
Yay.
great show. Thank you, thank you.
Tamara.
All right.
Thank you, Tamara. Shout
So,
out to Sydney
we
Trust.
apparently only had 4 of these for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
you don't get one.
I don't get one.
You just
That's
I'll
all right.
hand you mine one.
Yeah, that's all right. So, today's show, we drank the Calice de Luz, a Spanish wine. It's a rain grape. Very light wine. Drink it on its own kind of a thing. Be sure you like us, follow the Instagram page, the Wine to Wine Show on Instagram, because I will post a picture of the wine along with the show rating and a description of what the wine pairs with. So follow us there. All right, Sydney G.
You know what? So, I am one who absolutely loves the wines from our wine club, and I don't think, Joe, that I've ever had a wine that was below a 4. But, you know, this one was cool. I gave it a 3.5.
Not that
Right.
cool.
It was cool. It didn't just like ring my bell all the way through. I mean, I drank it, of course, after, you know. But it's got a nice, it's light, it's crisp. I'm a Pinot Grigio. I'm like really Pinot Grigio. Like, if it's white, I like it to be a little more sweet. I don't, not sweet, but just a little more sweet. I think it had, and I don't even know if whites have a lot of tannins. I thought the reds had more
But
tannins.
this was.
It was a pretty strong white, so it's a 3.5 on that one.
All right, good review.
Okay, so I'm totally gonna ride off of a Cindy G here for a sec. I'm a Sauvignon Blanc kind of white kind of girl. A brown Mexican, but I'm saying a white kind of drinker. Let's make it clear.
All wines matter.
Hey, that's so racist. You obviously don't like
let's
Spanish
make
people.
it clear.
So,
I
Obviously doesn't like
last
Spanish
week's
people.
wine, I can't remember the name of it, was amazing. No offense to the wine club, but this, I'm gonna ride with her. The tannins, it was bitter. It was a bitter. I love dry whites, but it was bitter to me a little bit. Sorry. I'm gonna go with a 2.
This show is all honesty.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a 3. I was struggling between 3 and 4, but just because I don't know, it just didn't seem like I was excited to drink a wine,
Right.
and that kind of was just like, eh. it kind of came afterward, but it wasn't.
After a couple glasses.
Yeah, after.
You're like, I'm good.
Then you don't really know what you're drinking, but.
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with a 3.
All right, so now I've got about 6 wines under my belt, and I don't know what a Sauvignon Blanc is or a
Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio. I couldn't tell you what
Or
this is or
Grapes.
that one was. But here's what I'm gonna say: that one smelled really good coming, like the pour.
Yeah.
It smelled really fruity, and
Yeah.
I was excited about it. And I don't know if I'm using the right word. I'm gonna be all fancy wine guy and stuff, but that tasted dry.
It was
Like wow dry
Yeah.
from
Like
the
bitter
first
dry.
sip. It was like a,
bite.
and so I did not enjoy that at all.
It bit you back.
and yeah, and so I just wanted to get through it to get to this because I've been enjoying this box wine. So I did not particularly love this wine. I'm not, I'm on the show, so I get to make a rating. But keep in mind that I'm not much of a wine guy. So whatever you want to take that for, I gave it a womp womp.
Wow.
That's the beauty of the show.
Got it.
We
You need to
nobody.
record that. so-
Nobody, right? Nobody is an expert on the topic, and nobody's an expert on wine. We're
No
just
one
normal.
tastes well.
We're just normal people reacting. That's life, right?
Yeah.
And I tell everybody to be honest with their ratings and everything else. So that's cool. I'm right there with Cindy G. Here's the crazy thing, is that the first time we had this wine, the second time we had the wine on the show, the first bottle of this I liked a lot more. So I don't know if the bottle was
The
just
particular
maybe
batch,
bad
maybe
or
the batch.
something, or the batch was bad. But I definitely didn't like this bottle as much as the last bottle. The last bottle, I was like, man, I love this wine.
Yes,
It's really
It
good.
was amazing.
I'm definitely like a 3.5 guy on this one. I'm right there with you.
Ooh, not a high rating.
Yeah,
this time.
I think this is like the lowest rated one we've had yet. So,
Across the board.
which honestly kind of makes me think. I'm like, maybe it's the bad
the
batch, or yeah.
And it's like
It
with
could be.
anything,
Yeah.
fruit, if you're getting whatever. Like,
Yep, it happens.
It
I mean,
happens.
that's normal.
yeah.
All right, so cue the music. We're gonna head out.
Don't wrap it up.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. Be sure, blame it on the freeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
could be
right,
that.
that's
It could
Watch
be
the
that, right?
show. Share
Everything
the
is
show.
crazy
Tamara.
this week.
Yes, like the show, share the show, and my daughter's cueing the music so I can feel like I have an outro thing going on.
Yeah, I'm ready to dance now.
I-
This is
listen.
when I'm
Okay, I
ready.
can sing if you want.
I'm ready for more wine in the conference room and chilling. That's what I'm ready for.
How about a post-wine, no wine show?
Right, we're gonna do that. That's coming.
Let's take our
That's
picture and
coming.
then we'll do our post.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So-
we have a lot of fun then.
We're saving America one simple conversation at a time. Like the show, share the show, hop over to YouTube, look up Wine No Wine Show, hop over to Instagram, look up Wine No Wine Show. You will find us.
Yeah.
Do it.
Subscribe to the page, subscribe to Instagram.
Alexa, play Chicago.
Right.
Stop talking.
Alexa, rate the wine.
I'm really surprised she's not responding more. She normally does.
Everybody needs a
Alexa,
little time.
where are you? Oh, she needs your voice. It's your voice.
It's true. It is.
Yeah, it
Actually,
is.
it is.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
Thank you for guys tuning in. I so appreciate y'all tuning in. 100,000 views. Y'all were a part of that. Love it so much.
Hello from
Mexico.
Hey.
Hola.
Maga. Hi,
Hello
Maga.
from
That's
Mexico.
my friend.
Mexico. Oh my gosh.
Say hi to Maga.
Hey,
Say
Maga.
Hey,
Maga.
Maga.
Hey.
She's in Monterey.
Yeah, that's so cool. Mexico. Thank you for
Yay.
tuning in. Salute. Salute. Salute.
Cheers,
And
Maga.
cheers.
International edition.
That's right.
We went international.
Hi,
We're
Monterey.
international.
Hi, Monterey, Mexico.
Tune in next week, 7 p.m. for the Artist Edition, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for the original show.
And then Cindy G, wellness segment is
Okay,
coming. Oh my
yes.
God. Major
Keep your ears and eyes open for a health and wellness edition of the Wine to Wine Show. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Drum dip.
We'll be back. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.